So I've seen a lot of videos going around about what's going to happen in the real estate market. All these realtors have been giving their comments, people who hate realtors. Look, this is what's going to happen. I've been in this industry for 13 years. Let me just share this with you. Commercial real estate is very different from residential, but I think residential is heading into commercial. And if you don't know what that means, give me 60 seconds of your time and I'll share with you what that will look like. So residential is going to slowly turn into like commercial real estate. And if you've never done a transaction in commercial, a lot of times the buyers and sellers are sophisticated type end users and investors, meaning they run spreadsheets, they look at formulas, cap rates, run net operating income, internal rate of return, net present value. They run all of these formulas to understand the asset or the investment that they're buying, because most of these assets or commercial property are what are focused in what we call the capital markets. Residential is more space market because it's not, the level of sophistication drops immensely because you have a lot of first-time buyers. People don't do too many transactions in their lifetime in residential. So a lot of times they need the hand-holding of a buyer's agent to help them through the process. Now, for a lot of people, this is their second and third home. They may not need that anymore. They're okay with going to the listing agent. They have all the information they need to make a judgment call or what they are willing to pay for an asset. So in hindsight, looking at this whole lawsuit and how it's going to move forward, I definitely think buyer's agents will be around. If you want to pay them their fee, you can negotiate with them if you need a little bit of hand holding. However, for the vast majority of buyers and sellers, they'll go through one agent. And it'll be very similar to commercial. And again, if they need additional representation or a second set of eyes, they can have their family attorney. They can have others in their family that have bought other homes in the past to help them with paperwork. But in the end, a lot of states don't necessarily do dual agency. They may do an intermediary type event. However, I just think it will be okay. If you're a realtor, you're just going to do more for less, and that's okay, because a lot of y'all were living high off the hog. And keep in mind with this whole lawsuit, I think it's going to do two things to benefit the entire industry. What it's going to do is it's going to lower fees. It's going to help create more deal flow for everyone, because if you take a lot of the middleman fees out of real estate, you're going to have a lot more transactions, and real estate doesn't have to be as high as it needs to be because you're paying for all these middleman fees. Number two, a lot of people will exit this industry. They're like, well, I don't want to work for less, Matthew. I understand that as well. There are many other fields that you can work in and make a very good salary, whatever that looks like. So keep in mind, a lot of times the barrier of entry is very low for real estate, and you might get a lot of part-timers, people who don't necessarily know what they're doing, or the most professional. So the probabilities of running in those types of agents will drop a lot as they exit the field. So keep in mind, the consumer is going to benefit two ways now: lower fees, and number two, the probability of working with the top producing professionals that give them a much better outcome and make them much more appreciative of the whole experience. It's going to benefit the whole industry and everybody around. I think it's a win-win. I don't think it's something to be scared about. I think this is part of the future. And what I have done with my business is I have been a flat fee agent for some time now, and this doesn't scare me at all. If anything, I'm like, well, this was bound to happen. So in state, I just want to share with everybody, if you need an agent, you can look at negotiating a price for buyer agency. For many of you who have done this once or twice already, you may just feel comfortable with dual agency and say, hey, look, I understand. I get the whole routine. I'm going to have my attorney or have family friends that I trust look over the paperwork with me. And from there, they're going to make their bid. They know what the ask is, and it's between both parties what they're comfortable with. And from there, the title escrow process happens and the deal goes forward. And the agent's just going to make sure that timelines are met, paperwork is signed correctly. And if you're in a state that requires real estate attorneys, the agent really has the attorney overlooking a lot of the fine print. I just think in state, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be okay for a lot of you realtors out there. Don't get scared. And for a lot of consumers, this is a great thing for you guys. Everyone's going to benefit from this. Costs come down, deal flow increases. It's no different than what happened in the stock market when commissions were real high when you were trading a stock. Say you wanted to buy Disney, then you wanted to sell Disney, and you had to pay all this money just to buy and sell the stock. Now you can sell and buy stock for next to nothing, if not zero, commission free a lot of times. So real estate, I mean, it's not going to be necessarily a zero transaction, but it's going to be down. The internet era has made everything so efficient. It's great. It's going to work out wonderful. Don't panic. Buyers, sellers, realtors, it's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. It's going to be a really, really good thing for everybody. If you guys ever have any questions, how I run my business as a flat fee agent, have been very successful. And if you're a consumer and you have some concerns, feel free to jump in the comments, ask me a question. I just think overall this is a really good day. It's a good thing for everybody. As always, I'll see you guys on the next one.